Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums.
Everyone loves a good meal out with friends. But does anyone think about hygiene?
What?
The Food Standards Agency have recently begun a nationwide scheme that rates businesses from 0 till 5 on their hygiene. Every business that serves or handles food is rated by their local council. Whilst putting up scores is optional, all the results are available on the Food Standards Agency website. So that means that local Thai that you like, you can now see how hygienic it really is.
Before you book a restaurant, order from a takeaway, or shop at a deli or supermarket, wouldn't it be good to know how that place rates in terms of food hygiene?
Most of the country has now adopted food hygiene ratings. Here in North East Derbyshire, they're the newest recruits to the scheme. Here in Chesterfield, we're going to find out how businesses are feeling about getting their scores on the doors.
It's a good thing if you've got a good food hygiene rating. It's not too good if you haven't, to be honest. But yeah, obviously it makes everyone up the game slightly, doesn't it?
I think they're a good thing, but I think they need to keep an eye on everything is being put in place and not just checking that everything's been ticked.
I think it'll help us a lot because obviously with us having a high standard of hygiene, I think more people will come if they see that quality is good.
North East Derbyshire Council launched a scheme earlier this month. We asked why are the ratings so important?
Ultimately, it will improve food hygiene standards across the district. I think the main thing in a nutshell is to drive up food hygiene standards across the area. Obviously that will, and because of the website as well, where consumers can go and view the scores of the businesses, that will allow consumers to make informed choices as to where they're going to eat.
In Sheffield, the scheme has been running for several years, aimed at allowing more information on how hygienic the shops and restaurants are in your area. But how are these ratings assessed?
We'll be using refrigerators for chilled goods and deep freezers for frozen foods, and each of those chilled cabinets need to be checked twice a day for both their air temperature and the core temperature that it's maintaining the food at. We've always had food hygiene running in the background of businesses. In fact, food hygiene is inspected by environmental health inspectors, so from the council each food business is registered, so there's been a legal obligation to provide safe food for many years. The scores on the doors system, I think, makes it more transparent to the general public. But not all the scheme has been that successful. This restaurant in Upperthorpe has been waiting almost a year to be inspected since opening last June.
Obviously this effect on my business, and because when especially students, they like clean and nice food always, and they're very concerned about all the hygienic things.
Last year, the council was surrounded in scandal when a health inspector was caught using her unqualified boyfriend to inspect restaurants.
There's also been issues with the website. When you click on this link for OK Cafe, this result comes up. The further links, the same. Clearly, if these ratings were meant for public consumption, then it isn't working.
So what is going on? We went to speak to Sheffield Council about these errors.
The Scores on the Door scheme is something that Sheffield launched back in 2007 with the other 3 South Yorkshire authorities. In that time, the number of premises that were at the 0-star rating did decrease significantly by 35%, and the number of 5-star premises increased by 65%. So yeah.
At the moment, we looked at the website and it's not available at all. When will that be available?
Sheffield are looking at going live with the other 3 South Yorkshire authorities in June 2012.
So we've heard from businesses and the council, but what about the public? Have you heard about Scores on the Doors, and do you really care?
No, I haven't. No. I have heard of it, yeah.
You can see, if you go into a place, you can generally make a good enough guess.
No, I'm more likely to go out, and if I think a place doesn't look good, then I'd go home and then check the rating. I probably would still go, but I'd just think about it carefully.
Hygiene's a really important issue, and that'd be great. I definitely would check it if it was there.
It appears that food hygiene ratings is very much up to the individual to choose where or where not to eat. One thing that appears to be the case is that food hygiene ratings have improved hygiene across the board. This is Matt King, Just News, Sheffield.